Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So this episode, I'm going to be coloring the center module. So rock work is done. A little bit hard to see from this angle the way I've got cuts in here, but I'm going to get started. I've got stains set out over here, same as I used on the other side. This side, the vertical surfaces, I'm going to go darker. I'm going to go more with the black ebony stain and some browns mixed into it, and kind of see how that looks. I'll give it a shot down there, and if I don't like it, I'll kind of blend it and move to a darker brown this way. But I'm going to do all this in one take, and then I will just sort of edit it so you can kind of see snippets as I'm going. But let's see what kind of mischief I can get into. All right, base coat is done. I'm not going to do this area because I'm still going to build the bridge, and then I'll finish up around it. And the tops I don't need to do because that's all going to be vegetation covered. And I'm not going to do down low because I still have to finish that. So more to come on that. Right now, I'm going to get ready to wipe it down after I seal up my containers. So here is the finished product with my vertical cliffs on this side of the On30. So some good texture, good colors. I have blotted it with the paper towel. I will let it set for a while, but I'm ready to do scenery on this. Let's see, yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, that looks okay. I might touch that up a little bit with some acrylic paints. And then here's a good reason why I didn't do the backdrop first. You can see I've got a bit of a mess. I've got to do some cleanup on that before I get out my paints. Oops, well, I didn't paint that, but I'll do that later. But I did get this area over here. So let's go on the other side and take a look up into the portal and just see how that rock blends in with the others. But overall, I'm pleased with the result on this. Now the next thing is I'll get some trees down and start kind of gauging height for what I want and where I want. And maybe tomorrow I'll do the backdrop. I'll get things prepped for it, and then I can paint that, and then I can start turning my attention to the gorge and the trestle area. You know, I didn't do everything down too low. I stopped so that I can get sculpt mold and plaster in down that way, and then I'll color it all when I get to the end, and there's going to be a lot of debris down there. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Colors look good. So from this side, there is my rock on this side, and then as I'm looking through the portal, there's the rock on the other side that more or less matches up with it. I get a little vegetation in there, and some trees and some other stuff to kind of help camouflage it, but it looks like it's just going into a sunny area. And once I get some trees over in there, I'll get some shadows. So yeah, I'm happy with that too. It looks pretty good. Got a little bit of cleanup to do. I see some dried sculpt mold, but that's okay. On to other things now. It is Saturday night, and I am calling it a day. I got all of the rest of the trees that I had made previously down, and I am going to rework pretty much all of them. I've taken a few over here already that I have given them a little bit better trim, and I have applied the 2mm static grass. These are all, well, not all, but this one is a modified twist type tree. Using rope and then still the rustic wire, grapevine wire, you know, however you want to call it. I spun the upper half but not the bottom half so that I got a good straight trunk out of it. I did the same thing on these two here. Actually I haven't trimmed that one yet. I just stuck that one over here. At least I don't think. I gotta look at it. No, maybe not. And then I've got more furnace filter trees. These are tall. These are over 14 inches tall. These will eventually be like right here, so that I can have again a view block for that portal. All the rest of these are a mix. Most of them are the modified twist trees, give me sort of a redwood look. And then a few early furnace filter trees. You can see that doesn't look anything like the ones that I have been doing. So I'm going to salvage them. I'm going to come in with my florist shears and cut the bejeebies out of them. Same with that one and that one. You can see an early furnace filter tree. How round, how thick, just does not look realistic. So I will trim those up, and then the rest of these I will shape a little bit better and then add static grass to them. A lot of these will be background type trees. You know, again, early examples of when I'm starting to scratch build them. They can go in the backs, and then I'll keep the nicer ones up in the front. But you can kind of get a sense of how this is going to look. And then I'm also getting ready to, well, not build the bridge, but I've been thinking about how I am going to do it. And I'm figuring I'm going to end up using dowels that I've already got. I got a whole bunch of these. I've had 30 years. I've never used them. I'm going to use these to build the subdeck for the track. I will beat them up, make them look rough, and then once they're in place, I've seen some methods on YouTube for graying them up using vinegar. I will put it in place, and then I'll paint it up to give it a nice weathered look. But what it'll be is, you know, two pieces, or actually one piece with a groove to make it look like there's two running across here. Primary beam going across. From there, spindles kind of coming out and off onto the side to cross this track until I can get up to more normal type support. So it should be fun. I've been looking on YouTube and online and finding some examples of some old branch line bridges that just look kind of cool. So I've got some ideas that I'm going to do here, but that's later. So like I said, tomorrow, probably backdrop. I'm putting some trees in so I get a sense. And actually, you know, I stick these in, the tree line is actually going to be kind of high. It's going to be about like the other one. So I probably could have done it first, but hey, that's the way it is. I will get started and see what I can do. All right, prep work is done and ready. I'm going to start painting the backdrop. So first thing that I'm going to do, just like I did on the other side, is I am going to paint the white and then paint the blue. Since I showed how I did my little technique last time, I'm just going to paint. So here's my before. Next video segment will show you my after. Well, about 15 minutes later, and the sky is painted. I will let everything dry and then make sure I don't have issues with where I've missed things. Just like on the other side, most of the bottom part of the sky, you know, really from well, here up to here is going to be trees. So a lot of the lower part is not going to be seen. So I did put a little bit more white, a little bit higher in various areas to make it look like high cirrus clouds. So we'll see how it looks when it dries, but this is going to work out all right. I think later today I will get out my greens and browns and a little bit of white and put the tree line in, because I've got a pretty good idea now of how it's going to look, and quite honestly it's going to be about the same as the other side as far as height. You know, because I'll have trees going up, you know, like to this point above that portal on this side of the layout. So once I get that in, I can then start setting trees. Start doing the top part first, because I want to get that done. And then I can do like right in here, and I can do some stuff over there. Then I will start to build that trestle. But before I do the trestle, I will get down and I will do scenic work around that portal. So I'll do that before I build the trestle, because once I get the trestle in place, then I'm going to have to do a reach over, where here I can at least kind of go underneath, but that'll come. All right, early Sunday afternoon, and the backdrop on this side is done. So just finished up painting it, similar to the other side. Lots of tall trees. You can see how my painting of the sky in that one area there, you can see the nice white coming through, and then a little bit of white clouds and sort of cirrus look here and there. Matches up to the other side. So I'm liking how this is looking. I darkened it up more around these portals and down in there to make it look like it's shady going in. A little bit lighter off on the sides, and then all of this again will be blended in as I start to you know, put trees in and around. This one I got to rework. It's an ugly first generation furnace filter. I'll cut it up, but you know, I'll have a lot of trees going like along here and around, so that this will all sort of blend in and blend this part of the backdrop and kind of hide it. So I'm happy with how it's looking. There's my palette, and there's my 1-inch brush. So I used this to paint the trees on the other side, and cleaned it up after that. Used that to paint the rocks. Painted the rocks on this side, cleaned it up a little bit, used it to paint the backdrop. It has served its purpose. It is time for it to be retired into ye old round recycling bin, or trash bin actually. Cheap brush, you know, just a few cents really at Home Depot. So I've got that done. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to come back in and vacuum up all of the little nubblies on here. I can then take the tape off of the track, and I can start doing scenery. I am going to come back in though, and I am going to use, actually I'm probably going to keep that brush for a little bit. I'm going to come back in and paint on the tops of here and down in here. And same thing on this area over here, just so that everything is covered, just like I did on the other side, so I don't have any pink foam board or white plaster coming through in case, you know, some dirt, scenic materials don't stick and it gets bounced around, then I'm not having to go back in and doing a lot of rework. So I will get that done, and I think when I get that finished, that will wrap up this video. Mid-Sunday afternoon, the acrylic paints are on. So I have got pink foam board and most of any white plaster sculpt mold hidden. This area I have not near the top because that's going to be covered with trees and vegetation. This area over here, I want to get at least the bridge deck built and see if I need to add any more sculpt mold around it, and if so, I'll do that, and then I'll paint it up with some of the stains and then acrylics and just blend that in. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to vacuum and take the blue painter's tape up, run some trains just on the lower end, make sure I've got good clearance still. Then I'm going to put more painter's tape back down and start doing ground cover and putting trees in. But you know what? That's going to be on the next episode. So that's going to do it for this one. Keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.